Madam Clerk, do we have a form?
We do have a quorum. It looks like we're only missing Commissioner Kniezek, but everyone else is here. We do have a quorum.
Okay, great. Well, we will get started. It's 1:01. So we will call the meeting of the Special Committee on Seniors and Veterans to order. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Kniezek. It doesn't look like he's logged on yet. Commissioner Hattis.
Present.
Commissioner Baydoun.
Here.
Commissioner Scott.
Present.
Chair Baker McCormick.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item.
Chairwoman's remarks.
Just a couple of things. We all should know that November 11th is Veterans Day, and we want to make sure that we honor all of those that have served our country. We have the director on who is a veteran, so I want to say in advance, happy Veterans Day to you and any other veterans that might be on the line today. Also, we are partnering with Pepsi Cola, and I believe they reached out to Director Betsarai to provide turkeys for veterans during the holiday. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll have more information on that initiative in the coming, I would say, days. And Director Betsarai may have some additional information on that. And that is all that I have for you. Next item.
C, approval of the minutes from the October 1st, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Support. It's been moved and supported. Is there any objection to that? No objections? Then the motion passed. Next item, please.
Item 1, under new business, a department update from Lisa Wilmore Davis, Director of the Department of Senior Services.
Welcome, Ms. Davis. Go right ahead with your report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And good afternoon to all of the commissioners and everyone in this meeting. It's always a pleasure to come before you. Here's a statistical update regarding the Wayne County Senior Services Department. We reported to ASA for the week of October 26. We served 11,488 home delivered meals, and we served 857 drive-up congregate meals. And so we are really happy that we've been able to maintain our service, no interruptions. We recently, the week prior, we had a all volunteer meeting. We had almost 200 people on Zooms, several meetings throughout that week where we received an in-depth COVID safety kind of checkup to make sure that our volunteers are adhering to all of the COVID-19 precautions and utilizing those so that they can stay safe, but also too so that they don't infect or harm one of our participants. So it was really great to hear from the volunteers and to convene them. That was the first time that they've had a all volunteer meeting other than the annual event every year where they give the volunteer appreciation that many of you have participated in the past. So I was really happy that we were able to institute that, and we're going to do that quarterly or at minimum because during this pandemic, and then go to a biannual time during the year. We also had a department retreat on the 23rd, where our staff came together. We looked at our fiscal year. I don't know, I hear.
Can you mute everyone except the speaker, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we had a department retreat where we reviewed our previous fiscal year, looked and also reviewed 6 months into COVID and how our department has stuck together and worked daily to create a new pathway to do the program in COVID. And also we looked at some of the new goals that our department is going to approach in this new fiscal year. And one of those is we're purchasing new technology that will increase our accuracy in service of the food to our participants, and also increase our accuracy in getting our reimbursement billing rates back from the TSA. And why that's important, first of all, if a senior is missed, we won't know about it in our current format until a week or several days later. And with this new technology, we will know at the end of the day who was served and who was not, so that then the team that can go out and hit those people who were missed inadvertently for whatever reason, to make sure no one misses receiving their meals. And it's really important now because we only serve once a week. So I'm really excited that we are in the process of purchasing that technology and rolling it out for use in this first quarter of this new fiscal year. So also we discussed in our retreat our desire to bring back fresh food elements to the meal, because currently everything is frozen. And of course we had very high quality. Some of you enjoyed our meal demo that we brought to the commission before COVID hit, and saw what the seniors in Wayne County ate that day when you were at the demo that we hosted there in your outside your chambers. So the question becomes, how do we do it safely, and working with the food vendors that we utilize right now, Trio, how do we incorporate that so that we can get some fresh food elements, meaning like fresh fruit versus frozen fruit, fresh whole milk versus powdered milk, those types of things. I know it's small, but I think it will mean a lot to our participants. I also wanted to again thank you for your support at our virtual event that was hosted in October. And we looked at how to maintain safety during the flu season and being inside of a COVID-19 pandemic. And we had an excellent presentation from our colleagues at the health department. And this last virtual event was done in partnership with Detroit Area Agency on Aging. Mr. Taylor and I have made a commitment that not only will we find opportunities to partner together to educate older adults, because we realize this is important information. So they will also be a partner in our December event, which I'd like to share with you, is going to be on brain health and grief and mental health, because in the holiday season, a lot of older adults really suffer from, because their loved ones are deceased, or they are isolated, and now inside of COVID their isolation is heightened and even tripled. So we would love for you, I did a better job this time, commissioners, in getting the information to you early, and we're going to do that again, that before the Thanksgiving holiday break, you'll have the flyer, so that you'll have almost 3 to 4 weeks to share it with your constituents if you would like to do so. We will host it, I can tell you exactly the day. It's that Wednesday before the Christmas break. well, Christmas break weekend. It's December 17th. So if we get the flyer and information to you before Thanksgiving, you'll have exact probably 3 to 4 weeks. So as always, we're still working hard to educate, inform, and provide nutrition to all of our older adults. And thank you for your continued support. You're muted, Madam Chair.
Okay, there you go. Thank you for that report. Do you find that with COVID that there's more people reaching out to the office for help, for assistance?
What kind of we get
as far as for food or
for food? Yeah. We have had an increase of people who want to receive our nutrition services, and we've had people who've dropped off as well because of they don't like the frozen format. But we're having people now starting to come back because I think they thought the frozen and the COVID was only going to be a temporary situation, and now that we're getting into the fall months, those numbers are going up a little bit. I can make sure at my next report that not only do I can have more data to share in regards to people who are coming on board while we're still in this CARES, because I think that's kind of what your question is, Madam Chair? Because we've had people an uptick because our eligibility has been it's easier now due to the CARES legislation. That will end in December. But we try not to turn anyone away. We try to triage the question or the issue. One of the things that we've done too, we have I forgot to mention something, so I appreciate this question. We have a new email that is a general email box that is staffed. It's seniornutrition@waynecounty.com. Of course, people can always reach us by our phone number, but if there's a specific inquiry, they can reach us at seniornutrition@waynecounty.com. And if we can't address it, we send it to our colleagues at the Senior Alliance, because they are the area agency on aging organization for Western Wayne. And if it is something that's inside of Detroit, Highland Park, Hamtramck, or those areas, we'll refer them to Detroit Area Agency on Aging. But we do get questions that are nutrition related as well as need help with other issues. And that's what we want to be there to help as we can.
Okay. And can you remind us again how one would sign up? Is
Sure.
it just through the senior nutrition, or is it online, or what methods do they have to reach out to your office?
Yes, there are several. You can email us at the senior nutrition at waynecounty.com, or you can call our phone number. I don't want to quote it incorrectly, so I'm going to pull it up here so I have it.
And I know you had at one time like a flyer with that information. Is that a current? Is there any updates to that information? Just as you just gave the information of the email address, is there any flyers that you would like to get to us so that we will have that to maybe share?
Well, we were in the process. I was working with our communications colleagues to update our brochure, but COVID happened. But that's an item that we need to get back on track. So thank you for bringing that forward. We have a brochure, but it is a little out of date. But you can go to our waynecounty.com website and pull down a form. You can submit the form to request meals, or you can call us at 734-326-5444. 5202. Again, 734-326-5202. Or you can email us at seniornutrition.com. Seniornutrition@waynecounty.com. Seniornutrition@waynecounty.com. Based on COVID, we're not in the office every day. We're working remotely, but every day there's someone from our team who is in the office. We're not all there at one time due to social distancing requirements.
Thank you. Does any of the commissioners have any questions? Commissioners?
I think Mrs. Davis did an excellent job. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner
Great.
Hayes.
Well, thank you so much for that update, and we will see you next time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Madam Clerk, next item.
2, a division update from Kwesi Betsarai, Director of the Division of Veteran Affairs.
Good afternoon, Mr. Betsarai.
Hey, good afternoon. How's everybody doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Madam Chair? Madam Chair? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I'm out of order. I know Andrew Candrivas on behalf of the Wayne County Executive. Before we begin, I just wanted to make an announcement so that you all knew who was on the call today. Mr. Betsarai has received a little recognition. I don't know that everybody heard it from the commission. Can I share that with you at this moment?
Oh, please do. I did not hear about it.
I did. Well, then allow me to present Mr. Betsarai, who is the Cranes Detroit Business has noted him as a notable veteran of the year. And he'll be featured in an upcoming magazine. And very, very proud of him on our side of the building. And I know you guys would be too once you heard that. So more recognition for our group and for Wayne County and for all of us who work so hard to help the veterans of Wayne County. So thank you.
Job well done. Congrats.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Betsarai.
Thank you. Andy, you got me on that one. That was good. I was just going to slide it in some kind of way. But
Very humble.
that's funny. Well, I'll tell you, these are interesting times in America, interesting times in Wayne County.
Indeed.
But I'll tell you, my team and we're still engaged, trying to make sure we get the word out there to our Wayne County veterans. So I've got a couple bullet points I just want to kind of go down. So here's a few upcoming events that we're working on in the month of November, because it's not really Veterans Day, it's Veterans Month. So they celebrate Veterans Day, veterans all month long, which is great. So yesterday, just November 4th, we updated our Facebook group. We have Wayne County Veteran Services page. We have approximately 135 friends. Keep in mind, roughly 2 months ago, we may have had 3 friends. And so now we're up to 135 friends. And what we do on our Facebook page is we feature past, present, and future things that are relevant to veterans. And so we could talk about what it's like to be at the Air Force Basic Academy, Army Basic Academy, and the various schools that these veterans will attend. We talk about issues with the VA, how to take advantage of the benefits that are available to veterans from the Veterans Administration proper from the federal government. We talk about what's coming down the pipeline for legislation that will benefit veterans as they pursue more benefits. So we talk about past, present, and future on that Facebook site. Yesterday, we updated our Wayne County Veterans page, so you can just go there and it's waynecounty.com/veterans. Before, we'd have to search for it, so you can just go /veterans, and that'll take them directly to our webpage. And on that page, they'll have our page and a list of services that we offer. And there's updates on which group of veterans we can help, which now we're excited. We can help both wartime and peacetime veterans with the various grants that we've received. November 9th, as Mr. Cantrevis mentioned, I'll be featured in Cranes magazine along with some other veterans. And I think that's great. It's great not for me, but it's great because Wayne County Veteran Services gets publicity. Cranes has roughly 225,000 subscribers in the metro area. And it's going to apply to those who receive the magazine at home and those who log in online. So it's roughly 225,000 people that will get visibility that we have this service still. So I'm excited more so about that than I am about people seeing me in a picture. But that's a win for Wayne County and our veterans. November 11th, we're still partnering with veteran service organizations for Veterans Day virtual events. A lot of the events have gone inward, and there's not a lot of events happening publicly. Those that I've received are going to be virtual events. So I've taken advantage of those invites, and I plan on being on a couple of them on that day. November 14th, I will be featured on the line with Reverend Sheffield. And so they've scheduled some time. We'll be on their radio program and their TV program, again, putting out the word about Wayne County Veteran Services and how we can be of assistance to our veterans. November 15th, I actually taped yesterday for a feature on Ask the Messenger. And Ask the Messenger is a program that's geared for citizens in recovery from addictions. But along the way, those folks are going to need some services. So I had an interview yesterday, and I'll be on that show on November 15th. So that's good news. November 19th, Wayne County Treasurer's Office has a virtual Veterans Month event. I'll be partnering with them for that event as well. As Commissioner Baker McCormick mentioned, we were contacted by Pepsi Cola. They'd like to donate some turkeys so we can give out to the veterans in Wayne County. I believe the number is roughly 80 turkeys and or $2,500. So we're working out the details, but we have secured roughly 3 veteran service organizations to distribute turkeys on the 20th of November. That's the Friday before Thanksgiving. So that way we can get some food and some supplies into some area veterans. So that's good news right there. And I was recently featured on an interview, a Zoom virtual meeting with the Detroit area of Black organizations that was headed by Reverend Sheffield again on October 20th. And again, my goal is to make sure that I get the word out about Wayne County Veteran Services. As you all know, because of the pandemic, we're not allowed to go out in public as frequently as we used to. And most of those avenues are shut down. So we're trying to make sure we get out there and stay in front of the public so that we can in turn generate more traffic and help more veterans and their families. So it's been working out pretty good thus far. And so along the way, I went and secured a new phone number for my office, right? It's a 800 number, and it's 833-WAY-VETS. That's 833 WAYVETS. Our goal is to make it a lot easier for veterans to reach our office. We still have the 313-224-5045, but that 833-WAY-VETS number gets routed to the original 224-5045. So we're finding ways to streamline these processes, make it much more memorable for veterans to gain access to our services. And as you know, we still have ongoing coordination with constituent relations. Ms. Cochran right there at the bottom of my screen. She's going to help us just along with Tanae, Ms. Ramsey up at the top, seniors, Ms. Whitmore Davis, and area veteran service organizations. And as you guys have seen an email from one of my staff members, Mr. Saran Batchelor, we want to find a way to get into every municipality. Last year, we gave over maybe $200,000 more than we did the previous year, and that's good news. But I still have monies and resources that I want to put back into the hands of the public. So we're making progress. We're making progress in a lot of areas. First, all of our services are online, right? We weren't there before, so everything can be done online. We've secured some grants to make sure we help those peacetime veterans. We've given away Myers food vouchers over the last few months. So we're doing a lot of good things despite the pandemic. So I'm going to pause and let you guys ask me some questions because, I can talk.
Okay. Thank you for that report. You talked a little bit about advertising.
Yes.
And I know you were coming up with a plan, a full plan. I'm just wondering, do you have any more information on that?
that was a part of it, right? We have to, it's a challenge because we're the county and we can't spend the taxpayer dollars on some issues, some advertising medium. So we're getting creative with some lower cost, community-based advertising. And in a perfect world, I'd do billboards, but there are no monies allotted for me to and budgeted for me to do billboards as I wished for. So we're really just going grassroots. We have a very small budget through the grant that we can apply to our advertising, and that allows us to get on some radio programs and some social media platforms to get the word out about Wayne County Veterans Services.
And then another question is, you just talked about monies that we have available. Can you give us an update on that?
Which part? You talking about the Soldier Seller Relief Fund or?
Whatever funds that we have for veterans. I know we had a grant, but that's over, but then you just talked about some additional funds.
Yes, we should be securing with you guys' assistance another $165,000 for peacetime veterans, and that's got to be signed by Mr. Evans and then subsequently approved by the county commission. And those monies again will allow us to replicate what we did from the last 3 months of the fiscal year. And that's when we had $500,000, and it was a challenge giving away roughly $171,000 a month in 3 months. That's not realistic. But this time we have enough time to spread it out over a year to get the word out in the proper amount of time, and then serve those veterans like that.
Great. Thank you. Any commissioners have questions? Any questions? Commissioners?
I want to congratulate Mr. Betzerai on
Thank you, sir.
his accomplishment and job well done. The question I have is, do you feel we reach most of the veteran in Wayne County, or there's still some weak spots here and there?
So I think there are a lot of weak spots. So what I've tasked my outreach coordinators to reach out to the out county areas. He's like most people who reside in Wayne County did not know the names of some of those locations, sort of like Rockwood. We're all thinking Rockford Files, but it's actually Rockwood, and some of these smaller municipalities that don't seem to get a lot of publicity, and they're really far down river. So we've been targeting those areas that did not seem to receive any resources from us either in 2020 or 2019. So I tasked him with, we have this great big Wayne County map in our conference room, and he's a veteran too. So it's fun because we take we use our military thinking and say which areas have not been targeted, and we put a bullseye on them, and then we make contact with that municipality. A lot of time it's in person, but if not, it's through an email or a phone call until we get a point of contact. And once we get that point of contact, we start sending materials, and we ask to be invited to their various events that can help veterans or just citizens in their municipality. So it is a challenge. Roughly again, 78 to 83,000 veterans, just based on the last census, reside in Wayne County. And again, not every veteran needs assistance, but I'm doing my darndest to make sure people know that we exist. And if they qualify, we want to make sure we get them those resources as quickly as possible.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Madam Chair.
Yes, go right ahead, Commissioner Scott.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Betzerai.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thanks for all that you're doing. But now regarding the turkeys that you have, how do the veterans get the turkeys?
Right now, we're working out the details on that. We've got a couple veteran service organizations, American Legion, VFW, and Best for Vets. So we're gonna get the turkeys and find a location that they can pick them up. What we'd like to do, and this is just a tentative outline, we like to partner with the Gleaners or another food bank to make sure we're able to give the turkeys and then the associated foods that can go with that can feed those veterans for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you have that plus the side dishes and stuff,
Yes,
huh?
ma'am. That would be
Okay.
that would be better. So that's my goal right
Oh,
now. That's
yes.
what I'm trying to work out the details for, and I'm confident we'll be successful in that area.
Okay, all right. And you say you got 135 grants?
No,
Just
no, no,
from
no.
different,
No, there's some monies out there from MVAA that another grant, but I'm going to need you guys to sign off on it. It's going to be coming down the pipeline for you.
oh, okay. All right. Okay, well, thank you for all that you're doing.
Oh, you're
Sounds
welcome.
good. Look like you're really getting involved. And that's good.
I'll tell you, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like work. It's
No, well, when you enjoy doing what you do, it's not like work. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're getting involved with all these different groups and that. And again, congratulations.
thank you.
It's always nice to be recognized when
Right.
you, yeah.
If anybody on this call is interested, Tuesday morning at the Guardian Building, I'll be signing autographs of that paper.
All right.
You gotta have some fun. We need some leather.
Yes,
I know.
you are so right. Thank you.
You made it in my calendar again this year.
Thank you. I'll tell my wife.
Yeah. Yeah. She's with you. It's that picture.
Great.
All right. Give her my love.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you again, Director Beth Sarai, for all that you do, and congratulations. And
Thank you.
I know you're going to do much, much more. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll move to the next item. Madam Clerk.
3, a discussion with Rita DeBaja from the Michigan Veterans Foundation on services and resources provided to veterans.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
The Michigan Veteran Foundation is located on 4626 Grand River Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48208. We've been at this new location since January 2017. And the Detroit Veteran Center is a multi-faceted facility that addresses the need of homeless veterans. The center also provides on-site support services to the veteran who are at risk of becoming homeless or simply need help. So this location is accessible to the VA hospital, and our mission is to fill the gap in the current services delivery system. We operate a transitional housing. We coordinate services within the existence continuum of care network. We act as an advocate on behalf of the disenfranchised veteran and place the veteran in the appropriate permanent housing. Some of our services are, we provide life skill training, employment training, job opportunity, and referral. We provide health care services through EMU, health department, Wayne State nursing program, and we provide meals, clothing, and some substance abuse intervention classes. We provide support group, and we help the veteran to obtain benefit, and we assign them to the right programs so they can get the help they need in order when they graduate from our program, they're able to depend on their own self. So they can be depending on themselves and be able to survive with an income and having a roof over their head and address all the issue they need before moving to their normal life. Right now, we did get affected by the COVID. We're trying to, we made a lot of changes within our program where we have a quarantine area. Any veteran who comes in new, we don't know what's his status. We put them in a quarantine. They're not to be around our current veteran in the program. They get services to that quarantine area. We start them with an intake, provide them a meal, and the next day we send them to the VA, and also we make arrangement for them to get tested for the COVID. Once the result comes in, we usually get the result within 3 to 4 days. And if they're clear, we move them to either our program in Vet Rescue or GPD. We were lucky, thanks God. We been very blessed not having any cases on the site. We had a minimum 4 to 6 cases, but we did not quarantine anyone on site. We had a good relationship with the health department where the positive cases were quarantined at their location. And for now, we continue to do whatever we can to help the veteran to proceed with all the services that they need on site. We do have an event coming up. It's a Veterans Day event on site. It's gonna be virtual. There is a group that we had a good connection with, and this is their 4th year doing the event. They didn't wanna miss Veterans Day, so they are doing it virtually. I'm gonna be posting that flyer online. So on our Michigan Veteran Foundation Facebook account, any veteran is welcome to participate virtually. There is a website through Eventbrite to register. All detail for that event will be posting later today on Facebook, Michigan Veteran Foundation website.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for attending our meeting today. Just a couple of questions that I had, and my other colleagues may have questions as well. You talked about the COVID, being blessed to not have any on-site COVID cases, but do you find that due to COVID and the state of the economy that there are more veterans coming in for requesting resources?
Unfortunately, no, we're not seeing that many veterans. Our capacity is 104. We're at 70 right now. There is minimum of veterans that are reaching to us right now.
Okay. And do you assist female veterans with housing? And if they have children, do you assist in those cases?
So our program on Grand River is 100% male veteran. Okay. But we do have on site an office for the Women Army Corps, and we work with them if we get any calls for a female so they can coordinate and help the female veteran. We do provide services on site for female veteran, but they cannot sleep or stay on site.
Okay. And the virtual event that you just talked about, is there a link that you can put in the chat? with that information?
I'm
And
gonna try
then
to do that. I will
that'll
try
be
to fill
great.
it out. Yeah, if I have an issue doing that, I'll email it to you and you can pass it to everyone.
That would be fantastic.
Thank you.
And again, thank you for coming. Want to see if any of the other commissioners have any questions. Anyone?
Yeah, the same question we always ask. Is your service well known to all the veterans in Wayne County, or what system you use to make sure your message is going out and the veteran know about each other and sometime assist the homeless to come to you?
Okay, we work with the VA and VCRC. We get referrals from them. And we got also veteran that comes in as a walk-in. So with the COVID now, it's been very limited to reach out. We usually go to different events. We talk about our program, but during this year, it's been very limited. I believe the city of Detroit and Wayne County knows about our program too.
You communicate with Wayne County, Mr. Betzerai, and your service and try to ask him to help or assist if there are any homeless and under his radar to work with you on them. I think good communication between you and him would help the veteran in a many way.
Definitely, I'll make connection with Mr. Pettsere, and I've been the CEO of the Michigan Veteran Foundation after the pass of Mr. Tyrone Chapman in end of February. Then the COVID started, so I've been following whatever Mr. Chapman taught me, and of course, I need to meet new people so we can make more connection and spread the word more for people to know where to come in to get resources and references.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Betzerai, go right ahead.
So I've been to that site once in person since COVID-19, and then I did a virtual maybe a month and a half ago with the folks at MVF, and I believe I met her when I came there earlier this, I think it was maybe June that I came to that site, and I talked to the veterans there. And we did have some follow-up with us and received some assistance. But I'd be glad to keep partnering with her and MVF to help those veterans at that site.
Great, great. So one of the things that we talked about briefly was women veterans and their homeless situation. And I wanted to maybe convene a focus group to see how we might be able to better serve that group. So I'd like at some point, maybe we can talk to the Michigan Veteran Foundation and other organizations to see how we can help in that way. And that's why I asked the question about women and children.
I would like to add also that we do have one house assigned for a female veteran. If anyone knows of a female veteran looking for a rental home, we do have a house on Haledale in the city of Detroit. It's assigned to have a female veteran in there.
Great, great. And I don't know if you want to put that in the chat as well, that information, or you can just send me an email, and that way I can share that information. Thank you. Yes, thank you again for attending this afternoon.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. All right, Madam Chair, excuse me, Madam Clerk. Next item.
4, a discussion with Beth Taylor from the Veterans Resource Center on services and resources provided to veterans.
Okay, and she also sent a flyer. Did you receive that?
Yes, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, great, great. Welcome, Ms. Baker. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. Well, thank you so much for attending our meeting today. And
thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, you can go right ahead and introduce yourself. And
okay. So good afternoon, everybody, to Madam Chair, Commissioner McCormick, and to your colleagues. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Beth Baker. I am the chief of the Veterans Community Resource and Referral Center, better known as the VCRC. We are with the John D. Dingle VA Medical Center. We are a one-stop service center that is about 1.5 miles down the street from the main hospital. We are located at 301 Pequet. And I believe if you can see, there's a flyer on your screen. Just to kind of give you a point of reference, I'll talk about some of the things that you can see on the flyer, and we'll be more than happy to do follow-up questions and answers as I go along here. So we are, again, a one-stop service center that provides services to two populations of veterans, if you will. One being veterans who are homeless, and the other group of veterans that we service are veterans who are at risk of becoming homeless. So veterans who may be potentially facing eviction, have possibly received court notices and things of that sort, or are just in financial strains that, you know, really homelessness, unfortunately, it looks like it's inevitable for them. So those are the two categories of veterans that we serve, male and female. Veterans of all eras, all service eras. The VCRC is one of 26 facilities in the country. We were the second facility to open. We have been actually opened here now since 2012. We are not new. We're still new to a lot of people, but we're not new to the work of homelessness. So we've been around for a while. I have served as the chief for the entire time and have been with the Department of Veterans Affairs for the past 18 years. And so 9 of those I have been in this capacity, serving our homeless veterans. And so I'll break it down as simple as possible in terms of the services that we provide. There's 3 areas or 3 pillars of services that we offer to the veterans. One being our mental health care, our services that we provide through our licensed social workers. We have a psychiatrist, our staff psychiatrist. We have peer support specialists who are also veterans themselves, who are consumers of the mental health department and services. Those are veterans who have experienced whether substance abuse or mental health issues and or both, who again are currently consumers of mental health facilities, whether it be through the Detroit VA or the Ann Arbor healthcare system. And so they are a tremendous asset to the team and to the clinical component in that they have lived experiences, shared experiences, and just bring another component to the care that we're providing to our veterans. We also have a substance abuse division here that we provide services through that treatment team. And so those are the areas that make up what we call our mental health care. We also, the second level of services that we offer, or what we call our primary care services. That is through, we have what's called a homeless PAC team, which basically makes up of the provider, the primary care provider, the 2 RNs, the registered nurses, and the LPN that makes up that team. And so those providers are able to provide primary care services to veterans, whether they have a scheduled appointment or not. That is a panel, they have a panel size that can hold up to about 700 veterans, of which now they're at probably about 350 veterans that are being seen under the auspices of our primary care team here at the VCRRC. I want to stress that veterans don't necessarily have to have an appointment because we are indeed a one-stop service center. So what that means, veterans can literally drop in at whatever time of the day or day of the week. And so that is just something I want to highlight. The third level of services that we offer, or category of services, is what we call our concrete services. And you can kind of see there in the bullet points there of what we offer. We have shower facilities, laundry, a computer lab, and we provide a ready-to-eat meal for the veterans. We don't have a stove as such, so these are microwavable types of things that we offer. Because of COVID, we had to shut down the shower facilities and have recently been cleared to reopen those services back up. From about March to July 13th, we had to halt face-to-face, as we call it, foot traffic, but we were servicing veterans over the phone and working with our community partners. We are back in full operation as it relates to the services that we provide. I want to stress that our hours of operation are quite unique to a lot of other service providers that we work with. The VCRC is open 7 days a week, observing all federal holidays, but we're open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I do want to stress, however, because of the pandemic, our foot traffic is from Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. So if a veteran needs to come in and physically be seen or receive services, they can. And anybody that's needing our assistance after 4:30 and on the weekends will have to call. Again, we'll physically here, but we've been under mandates by our executive leadership to halt foot traffic after 4:30 for proper cleaning and realigning the facility and things of that sort. But we are here to service the veterans. We are servicing 4 counties, which make up Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, and St. Clair County. We have done an enormous amount we're infused within all of those counties through, in each one of those counties, we have representation on each continuum of care in all 4 of those counties. I being a board member of Oakland County, and my colleagues are sitting on Wayne County, Oakland, and Macomb and St. Clair, all in the same. And so we're partnering with just a myriad of different community partners. One of our partners, my colleague who just spoke right before me, Mr. Baker, who is the executive director of the Michigan Veterans Foundation, is one of the several agencies that the VA has awarded grants to that make up our transitional housing program. So veterans who come into our facility, unless they just absolutely want to remain in their car or be on the street, no one will come into our facility and be turned away as it relates to getting them into temporary housing, with the goal, per their desire, getting them into permanent housing. And so through our SSVF, which is our Supportive Services for Veteran Families partnership, we're able to even get veterans into motels off the street to assist their families. I know, Commissioner, you were talking about the services for our female veterans and their families. There's other avenues that we've been very creative to partner with community partners that have those resources and funds available to assist those veterans in that capacity. Excuse me, my light is automatic and it's going off and off. Pardon me one moment. Excuse me, we're on an automatic system, so I have to kind of wave around to make the lights come back on. I apologize. So those are some of the services, like I said, we offer. With the social workers are responsible. I have 4 licensed independent social workers that work here, and those social workers are responsible for answering the homeless hotline. There is a national homeless hotline. Those calls are routed up through Canandaigua, New York, and depending on where the veterans region, wherever the veteran is calling from, those calls are then rerouted back to the local communities. And so the social workers out of my facility are responsible for answering those calls throughout the day and late, in the evening. And so as veterans, are calling and needing assistance, the peer supports are able to go out and provide transportation to these veterans. Veterans are calling from just the street. They're calling from, libraries, abandoned places, wherever you can think of where people are in need of help. We're receiving those phone calls. We have had a heightened number of calls through the pandemic. People have lost jobs, families are falling apart, various mental illnesses are running, are on the rise because of the pandemic and the aftermath of that. And so we've been quite busy. We've always stayed busy, but certainly our volume has increased in terms of crisis intervention. Is one of the things that we are able to provide. And I stress to people all the time, we are the VA. The difference with us and our partners down at the main hospital, we're basically the homeless program in the community. Although we're just 1.5 miles down from our main hub, the John Dingle, we are still placed in the community and here to serve veterans. And so if you all are coming in contact, obviously, with veterans, have various needs and services, please, by all means, do not hesitate to reach out and call us. We are more than equipped and happy to assist. We provide toiletries to veterans who come through. We provide clothing, various clothing as the need presents. And we've just been very fortunate to work with a lot of the VSOs, other agencies across this country, really, that have really kind of adopted us. And so we are in a very fortunate spot to be able to assist the veteran. So I can't stress it enough. I'm never happy to hear that the veteran is homeless, but I'm certainly happy to report that we have adequate resources in place to assist, to get veterans back to a much stronger place in their lives.
Great, that's excellent. Just a couple of questions that I wanted to ask. How many veterans do you serve? Just a roundabout number, you think, per year?
Well, I would probably give you some data, maybe some raw data, probably prior to COVID, just because that's kind of skewed some of the numbers. It seems like quite a bit, virtually we've been servicing veterans, and we're actually moving to the virtual modalities where VA really has adapted the telehealth model. And because of the pandemic, we've been forced to move that way by December the 1st. So we will be seeing veterans. We have been blessed by our National Program Office to even provide cell phones for our homeless veterans and veterans who do not have these types of devices that need to be seen. And so it's probably on an average, probably looking at it from month to month. I mean, we're servicing anywhere from 45 to 50 veterans a month on average. Now that's just, in an average setting. Combined with the homeless program between here and the main hospital, it could be, several hundred veterans are being seen over the course of, each quarter. It's kind of how we calculate that data. So, in a year's time, again, this is prior to COVID. It's very easy for us to see anywhere between 750 to 1,000 veterans in a fiscal year. Some of these veterans have been through our facilities and services before and have come back for recurrent services, recurrent psychotherapy, or case management needs. The VCRC is one of the entry points, if you will, along with the Healthcare for Homeless Veteran program up at the main hospital. So we're an entry point to other homeless entities. The homeless program, we're just one of the faces of it, okay? And so we're the entrance point going on into our HUD-VASH program that some of you may or may not be familiar with, which is permanent supportive housing through the use of a voucher, through a Section 8 voucher that's a partnership that we have, the VA has with HUD through the Michigan Department. The Michigan State Housing Development Authority issues the voucher, but our VA clinical case managers and social workers provide supportive housing. So that's one of the many programs that we offer. There's different eligibility criteria for that. We also offer, I was mentioning the Transitional Housing Program, which is what we call the Grant Per Diem, MVF being one of a few agencies that we partner with. And so we have a little over about 300 transitional housing beds. So again, there's no reason for a veteran to come into our facility needing placement that day, not receive that unless he or she just simply does not want that. Some veterans are, believe it or not, are actually okay with sleeping in their car. They would prefer to be in the park. Some, a lot of veterans suffer from various different mental health diagnoses that they're not comfortable being in confined quarters. A lot of our veterans have been incarcerated, and so staying in a facility is not something they would prefer to do. So this is where our shower and laundry services help them, because they would prefer to sleep outside or in their vehicles until they're comfortable. And so we try to use the concrete services as a way to engage the veterans to go on and seek more clinical services, with the ultimate goal of permanent housing. If that's what, again, this is their plan of care, that we accommodate them based on their needs and not necessarily ours.
And how many women veterans would you say you service as far as homeless veterans?
Overall, the numbers are low. I would probably give you more of a percentage. Probably about 15 to 20% would be of the female veteran population. I will say, and not to disparage against our male veterans, but women typically can come in our programs and really have more of a concrete plan, really a lot quicker than our male counterparts. And so we don't see them staying very long in our programs. They just kind of use it as a stepping stone, just almost like they're passing through. A lot of times, women have been, they've dealt with a failed marriage or an abusive situation. There may be a transplant from a different state, and they just need, a few weeks or just a few resources to kind of get them going. So we don't really, like I said, we have the resources, of course, for our female veterans, but I must say, overall, we've always seen our female veterans tend to come through these programs very quickly and move very quickly on. So
Okay.
Probably about 15 to 20% would be a safe number to give you.
So you do have beds, enough resources for them as far as housing, and because I know that sometimes that is an issue. Do you find that is an issue?
Yes. Now, I've been in the homeless program since 2005, and I've been with the VA since 2002. So I've been around for long enough to see different trends come and go. And so there was a point where, we did have an organization, several years ago. The Salvation Army was one of the transitional facilities that was providing resources for our female beds. The problem was we weren't seeing the demand. And so when the demand wasn't there, there was no feasibility to continue those relationships as it related from a fiduciary standpoint. And so they ended up, really saying it was not lucrative for them as an organization. And so when you don't have the demand for it, your National Programs Office start reallocating funds, as you very well probably are familiar with. Now that those trends kind of ebb and flow, depending on what's going on in society, depending on what's going on with, the job market, housing, and things of that sort. So we have to be very creative with our community partners, period. Because like I tell people all the time, the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, in and of itself, we have zero housing. We provide healthcare. So we have to partner with community organizations to assist us with providing those resources. And I would, tell you in the first to tell you that my staff is very trained and qualified to place veterans appropriately, to get them the care and the resources that they need. I have a very seasoned clinical staff here with me, very fortunate. I, by profession, am a social worker myself, just work in administrative capacity. I've done so for the last almost 10 years now. So again, we have the resources. Just like I said, I tell people all the time, there's no need for an appointment necessarily to be made. Veterans can just drop in. Again, right now, because of COVID, from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday, they can drop in, but certainly they can receive virtual services as late as 8:00 p.m., 7 days a week.
Great. Well, thank you for that information.
Sure.
Any commissioners have any questions?
Yeah, Madam the Chair, if I may.
Go right ahead, Mr. Haddis.
What's your main source of funding?
Our main source of funding is our National Program Office. We are the Department of Veterans Affairs. So our whatever budget Congress allocates us, that is our budget. That is our main source of funding.
So
we're internally funded, if that makes sense.
federally funded. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other commissioners?
Just to thank her.
Okay.
It was very good.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to share the resources. Like I said, we're here to serve, and please, by all means, call us, send veterans our way. We'd be more than happy to assist them as best as we can.
Well, thank you again, Ms. Baker, for attending our meeting. I hope, I don't know if you've reached out to the director, Betsarai, or vice versa, but I think with the resources that we have and you have and us working together, we can all make a difference.
Absolutely. I'd look forward to the partnership for sure.
All right. Thank you again for attending the meeting today.
Yes, thank you so much. You all take care of yourself and continue to be safe.
You too. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, Madam Clerk, next item, please.
E, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I believe there were no other items.
Public comment.
Can you unmute everyone? And I don't see any questions or comments in the chat. Any public comments? Anyone have any comments? Anyone have any comments? No comments. Next item.
Adjournment.
So move.
Support.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a good weekend.